Right then, guys, I'm finally doing it. Welcome to CP Carpentry Podcast.
First ever podcast, mate. What an honour.
I think I'm going to split this into like loads of little segments so that I don't chew everyone's ears off. How do you feel about that?
Well, you are known for waffling.
I am known for waffling.
And this is all about waffling.
Right, guys, let's get into it.
See.
It's rolling. Tools, political shit. What was the other things you said?
It's getting into the subby world, self-contract world.
Yeah, how we started with self-employment.
Computers.
Yeah.
We're both into our computers.
I think we're just both into spending fucking money.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If we've got pound sterling in the account, we've got something to burn it on.
Yeah, I wish I was into not spending money. But unfortunately, I'm into spending all my money every time it gets into the account. Oh, there's always something to buy. Why is there always something to buy?
I think it's human nature. With that question in mind, I think it's human nature. We're all greedy. That's just human nature.
Nah, so I think we're all... a capitalist society is about consumerism. Everyone likes the latest, greatest stuff. You've got a new tool and they come out of a new, better one, you want it. That's consumerism. And capitalism is all about consumerism. So, all these companies want to make a lot of money, and they make a lot of money by bringing out a new, slightly different thing, and you just want it because it's the new stuff. You want the new phone because it's going to be better, it's going to be this, it's the new one. You want the new iPhone, whatever. You want the new car because it's the new one, you don't want the old one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was burping there, sorry. I can see what you're saying, but no, I just think like if tomorrow you had £5, the next day you want 10. And then if you had 10, then you're chasing 20. Like it's in our human nature to want more, ain't it?
Well, that's the problem.
You
want to get political, you talk about problem. Chasing numbers is such a stupid fool's game.
Yeah.
Like the mega rich, the thing is with numbers is there is no end, there's no finish. Like you want something, an object, you can achieve that object. Whereas money, there is no end. There is no thing to achieve. You get, I've always wanted £1 billion, or you get to 1 billion, 10 billion. And then you can get to 100 billion, and there's no end. So I think chasing money is a fool's game. Definitely. Oh, I say that as I have no money. So, yeah.
I would love to be more comfortable.
Yes.
But I have no desire to sit on stacks of cash. I would rather have my time.
Different generation. The generation before us, our parents' generation, and especially our grandparents' generation, were all about sitting on loads of money.
Yeah.
I remember when my grandparents died, or one of my grandparents died, and my family were trying to sort out all of the money and financial situation. They kept finding money in they had a random bank account here, and they had another bank account there, and they had this, didn't know about it just because they wanted to sit on all this money and,
so spread.
Keep it secret as well, just for a rainy day, but you can survive the next 20 years of rainy days. But that generation was proper about keeping money in the account, which has its pros. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to have money in the account as well. But our generation is, I wouldn't say the complete opposite, but we like to enjoy life as well.
Yeah.
I think that's important, to enjoy life as much as...
I think as I've got older with money, let's compare it to, say, computers. Everything goes out of date. I'm so much more aware that, like you say, you're just constantly chasing money.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you've got. Like I said at the start there, if you've got 100, you want 200, and if you've got 200, you want 500. It's in our human nature to always want more. So I think, I can't even really remember the subject of this money, but yeah.
I think there's also the opposite to that. There's always something to spend money on.
Yeah.
Always something to spend money on.
Every doesn't matter how much you limit yourself from spending.
Yeah.
You'll always find something to put it towards.
Tools. There's always a tool to buy. You've spent so much money on tools, and I've got so many tools where I've used them once. Like circular saws. I was like, oh yeah, I'll use that for like cutting up the floorboards to get to access for rewires and stuff like that. I've used it a couple of times, and that was like 200 quid or whatever it was, because I'm like, oh, if I'm going to spend this money on a circular saw, I might as well get one, the slightly better one with the rail, so I can do doors. If I ever do a renovation, then I can cut my own doors down or something like that. I don't know. Does it ever happen? No, but at the time it was just an overwhelming idea. I had to have it. I had to spend that money. But if it ain't tools, it's computers or cars or airsoft or YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just always something to spend all your money on, mate.
Do you not think though, like, some things are an investment and some things are obviously just dead money?
I think at the time, I think they're an investment.
And then,
the investment might not have paid off quite so well, or I might have...
So like, when I say an investment, like, I'm hungry, I need food.
Yeah.
You're investing in yourself. Obviously, you could go and spend £20 on a takeaway, and there's also, you could spend £10 on some wholesome food and cook it at home. There's different ways to invest it, and there's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever suits your needs at the moment in time.
There's a saying that has hit hard with me quite a lot of times now. A guy I work with, Victor, he said this to me, and he said, sometimes you fall in love with the idea of something rather than the actual thing itself. So you might fall in love with the idea of buying a drone and flying around and doing all these shots and having all this stuff. The idea of that is so amazing, but the actual reality of it is not anywhere near.
Yeah. That's a good.
And that has saved me a lot of money. And I think about you a lot. You fall in love with an idea so quickly and so frequently, and it changes all the time, whether it be airsoft, drones, YouTube, set up this big, like, I don't know, unnecessary setup, rig, jig, loads of stuff. You fall in love with the idea, oh, I brought this dovetail joint thing so I can do all this stuff, because you love the idea of being able to do something, but then it'll sit in the garage and never get used. Because the idea of it is really attractive. And that applies to so much stuff. Like, I found myself in that situation so frequently. I've got a load of stuff, hundreds of pounds worth of stuff in my shopping cart. I'm like, actually, I'm in love with the idea of doing something rather than the actual physical item. Yeah. And I'll probably fall out of love once I've brought this, because I'm a sucker for like missing out on something. Like, I'll buy something, especially if it's on offer, because I want the idea of doing, I don't know, some sort of activity. But then when I'm actually doing it, I'm like, oh, this isn't quite what it should be, because the idea of it was so amazing.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what traps me and where I mess up. I put stuff in my basket and I think, right, if that's still there at the end of the month, then I still want it. And I buy stuff like that. But where I mess up, going back to that jig, if I know something has a potential value of X and I can pick it up for like half, 3 times cheaper, 4, 5 times cheaper, or for pence, I think, well, then if I don't use it, I can always just sell it on for more.
Yeah, and never sell it.
And things like 32 doors, where I still own half of them.
Do you?
Yeah, generally I've still got half of them.
Those oak doors?
Yep.
Yeah.
You want some, mate?
Going cheap. I love an oak door, but none of them will fit.
I was going to say, they're very cheap. Yeah. None of them will fit.
Yeah, mate, yeah. It's the idea of something. And I think we're all a sucker for that. And shout out to Victor for saying that to me, because...
Yeah, that is wisdom, that is, Victor. Thank you for shedding that wisdom on both of us now.
And he said quite a few things to me, which, as he's gotten older, he's in his 40s now.
Yeah.
And his experiences in life are kind of teaching you things, right?
Yeah.
And your parents always said this stuff to you. They said, "Oh, don't do this, or be careful of that," and you just ignored it. And as you get older, you're like, you know what? That actually, they had a point, and I couldn't see the point at the time, but now I see the point.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of stuff that our parents probably said to us, which at the time you ignore, but as you get older, you appreciate.
Definitely.
And he's shown a lot of his wisdom for me, and I'm coming into the age now where I'm starting to like understand it all. So,
yeah, I think we are slowly, very slowly maturing.
You know, this is another one of his sayings, and it's youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
So when you're young, you're full of youth. You're stupid and inexperienced, and when you're older, you're wiser and experienced, and you
lack the youth.
You lack the youth. Like if you was youthful still with all your experience, the stuff that you would do and could achieve is amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
But when you're that young, you don't think properly. You don't think like we do now about things. You're just impulsive, and you probably fall in love with an idea even more when you're younger, and just want to spend all your money on it. I don't care. I'll finance it.
Yeah.
I'll finance this computer for 6 years because I love the idea of being able to.
I'm definitely done with finance.
Yeah, finance is a.
There is no worse a feeling for me, like the buyer's remorse. There's no worse feeling for me than getting to winter. I open the front door. It's raining. And I have to think to myself, but I have to pay for that bill.
Finance is terrible for
especially being self-employed. Like we have no security of like guaranteed income.
At the time, again, the whole idea thing. At the time, the idea of buying this new computer, for instance, is so great.
Yeah.
And for the first year, amazing. But then for the next 4 years that you're paying off this computer, it really. Like the payments are still the same. You're still paying like £300 a month, which is a big payment, for instance.
Yeah.
And you're like,
what you've got left at the end is nothing.
I'm really bored of paying for this now.
Yeah.
But you've still got like 2 years left on it. And you're so bored of paying for this item, which is you've lost interest in years ago. Yeah. You're still paying for it.
And now it's worthless, and you've lost the interest.
Yeah.
And all you can do is start again, and you're in a vicious cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, finance is terrible because it makes you do stuff that you would never have done if you had to save up.
Yeah, definitely.
You would have thought about it or appreciate it. I don't know. But you just keep yourself in situations.
Or been in a better situation to do less finance on it.
Yes.
Making life easier.
Yeah. Yeah, pay nothing for 2 years or whatever, and then in 2 years' time you're left with this like old sofa that you owe $3,000 on. Tools are bad for that. I nearly brought a couple £100 worth of tools the other day, just because there's a deal on. Like you were saying earlier, good value. That I'm a sucker for that as well. If I see a good value, I have to buy it.
Yeah.
Like it comes with a free battery though.
That's how they get
of course it is. It's marketing. Like I nearly spent £200 on DeWalt gardening tools because it came with
it's cheap.
A free impact driver and a battery.
Right.
I'm like, I could do with that impact driver. Like I might not need it right now, I might need it in a couple of years' time, but it'll be there, and the battery is always good. But I'm now got a £200 DeWalt strimmer, which I'm never going to use really. I'm like, but I might bring it out every now and then and do the edges and whatnot. Realistically, I'm never going to use it, or use it very rarely. The value of that is not going to be that efficient to me. The impact driver will sit on the shelf for like 2 years until I need it, in which time I could have just brought one at that time when I needed it anyway, and only spent the small amount of money when I needed to, rather than a big amount of money when I didn't need to. And the battery, I've got like 6 batteries. Why do I need... I've got actually 8 batteries, I think.
Yeah.
Why do I need 9 batteries?
I know.
It's a good offer, it's a good deal. So I want to buy it, but do I need 9 batteries? No.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for a deal.
I don't think, like with us being in the trade, I can see it. Like gardening tools, we are never going to use.
No.
But like if there were tools like the Impact and the deal was like the battery or something.
But I've got an Impact.
Yeah.
I've got an Impact.
But it's what I'm saying is like our tools will eventually break, and yes, it will come in the future.
Yeah.
In that sense, it'd be an investment.
Yeah, but sometimes this is what I'm learning as I'm getting older. Sometimes not all investments are even, and sometimes it isn't worth investing. You're better off having that money in your account, and in 2 years' time, when you need that tool, buying it then for a smaller amount of money. I brought another combi drill, sorry.
Right.
As I really wanted it. It's a limited edition DeWalt one. It comes in grey rather than yellow. And it come with 2 batteries and all this stuff, and it was a really good deal. And I thought, you know what, I'll buy that because eventually my combi drill will mess up, and then I'll replace it with the one that I brought. Well, that was a year ago. My combi drill is still working perfectly fine. I don't like misuse my tools and throw them about and stuff, so it's likely to last me another 2, 3, 4 years. This drill is just going to sit there for years and years, and that money could have gone on something more sensible.
Sorry, I'm getting tired. I've been up a long time today.
You get up at silly o'clock in the morning to go to the gym, though, don't you?
No, but it's not so much the getting up at silly o'clock. It's more the going to bed at silly o'clock and getting up several hours later.
Mate, you're a bad influence on me, because I've been going to bed at sensible times recently. 9 o'clock, sometimes 10 o'clock is quite late for me, but 9 o'clock, half 9.
That's when I like to get in bed.
Getting up at 5 o'clock, so it's a good amount of sleep. Sitting on roadcraft of you until 11 o'clock at night, and then getting up at 5, my body ain't used to it.
No.
And the older you get, the more it kills you.
Should we talk about, let's end this episode here, and we're going to start another episode. Right then, guys, that's it for this little episode today. We're going to end it there. Don't forget to click subscribe, ring the little bell, and stay tuned for upload notifications. Pretty please smash the like button on this. And all I nicely ask is, if you enjoy this waffle, this chat, these different things me and Mitch here are talking about, then just drop a share. And
put in the comment section questions that you want us to talk about. Like, you got a question for us to answer for you, pop it in the comments and we'll bring it up, talk about it, talk about your opinion, and yeah.
Right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bye-bye.